Okay, so this is going to be more like a quick review of TNA's Bound for Glory 2025. My name is Wraith Realm TV. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for the latest and greatest that comes to my channel. Also, check out all my social media places and also all the other video places that I put this video up on. So we got to talk about Bound for Glory. I felt like I was watching an NXT takeover, not so much a I felt like it was an NXT takeover, but TNA. And I feel like WWE has their footprints and their claws on everything to do with this show. And yeah, they had 7,700, I think, 26 people in the audience that attended, and it was a packed house. But I just felt like I was watching a WWE light show. I just felt that. You know, I understand that people are going to say, well, no, that's not the case. This is not the case. But it feels that way. Every time I watch a TNA, I feel like I'm watching NXT. I feel like TNA has lost their identity. I do. I really, really do. And I know people are going to disagree with me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about or I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I just feel like it's the same with AAA. Like, I feel like ever since WWE partnered with AAA, I feel like they've lost their identity. And I just feel like finally tonight they did the right thing with Mike Santana. They put the belt over someone that's been way overdue. He's been way too hot. They should have put the belt on him sooner. And he came in being way too piping hot from AEW, and they did nothing. And then finally they decided to put the belt on him. And it's the right move. They need to. TNA needs to get away from this whole WWE-esque, everybody holding belts from WWE. You know, I didn't like it when TNA allowed AEW to do it, and I don't like it here when WWE does it, and I don't like it in AAA. I think these companies should be their own brands. They should be developing stars. They should be doing the things, developing youth to either sign with WWE or continue to be with that said company. You know what I mean? So tonight they introduced the beautiful people into the Hall of Fame, Mickie James in the Hall of Fame. That kicked off the pre-show, which was good. Mickie James is royalty. The beautiful people are royalty. So there you go. And then we had the inspiration, right? Beat the Elegance brand within minutes. And I was just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is WWE hokey pokey booking. So I don't know why they would do this. And I don't know. I just feel like TNA's women's division tag team belts are just useless to me, the same way I feel about WWE. And AEW better step up their game when they have these tag team division women's belts, because throughout the industry, the tag team women's thing is just awful. And no company has made it worth a damn to me to watch or be entertained. It just feels like slop content, technically, when it comes to these belts. That's my personal opinion. So we get into Bound for Glory. We have Steve Maclin defeating Frankie Kazarian to regain the TNA International title. It was a good match. I like Steve Maclin. I like Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian did a few AJ Styles as to pay homage and respect. It was good. And I just feel like these matches that they're kicking off the show should be better. Like, I felt this match should have been better. If you're kicking off a show, do something like maybe you kick off with the Hardys and the Dudleys here, get it out the way, let have the tears, and then let's keep that momentum going on and on and on and on throughout the pay-per-view, right? So we get that going, and then we have Tessa Blanchard with Veronica Crawford defeating Gia Miller and with Jody Treat. Again, I haven't watched TNA in a minute because, again, I don't have all the time in the world to watch wrestling. Tessa Blanchard, I like Tessa Blanchard, but she comes with a lot of controversy. So I tend to be in the middle with her, and she puts on good stuff. When she wants to do good matches, she puts on good stuff. And Tessa Blanchard has been putting on good stuff, good promos. She's getting hated by the crowd, and I really enjoy her work, but it's the politics and the drama that comes with her. So, it was a good match, but it's, again, Tessa Blanchard, and here we are. Again, they went back and forth. This match was pretty good, but it just, again, like I said, Tessa Blanchard once again. So we had a a TNA injury report, Team 3D throughout the night. They were kind of doing like an NFL. People have been medically cleared, blah, blah, blah. Then we had Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth co-win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet double pin. This match went on for 30 minutes. In this match, I like Nick Nemeth. I like Frankie Kazarian, right? I like both of these guys. I think Call Your Own Shot Gauntlet is going to be great because that's who's going to be in the future for Mike Santana. It's not a NXT person now going after titles. You know what I mean? It's not an NXT person trying to have a title. You know what I mean? I want TNA to start building their talent and having future matches within TNA with their own talent. I don't want to see NXT no more in TNA. Maybe for a couple of months, okay, cool. You could have a run with maybe somebody that's up and coming, that they already have a belt on one person and they're already looking at another in NXT. Okay, cool. Great. I'm happy for TNA doing those kind of things, but we need to keep it within TNA now. You know, TNA is getting a TV rights deal with somebody eventually. I heard CW and that. They need to build their own talent and get away from this WWE stuff. I don't mind them having partnership with WWE and doing here and there things with WWE, but I don't want them to become NXT 3.0. You already have 2.0 with Evolved or AAA. Now you have 3.0. I don't want to see that. I want to see TNA become their own thing, and I want to see them be an alternative and make a lot of money. You know, I want them to be like number 3 in the world, you know, and I want to see them thrive, and I want to see the things. You know, when I see matches like Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, I understand why I enjoy TNA wrestling as much as I did back in the day and now. You know what I mean? I just haven't had a chance to watch it completely. I catch it here and there in the clips on YouTube, but, you know, this Bound for Glory show wasn't bad. It just... how much could you get Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian? They had all this hokey pokey stuff. Santino Morales shows up, and it's just, to me, as a person, I felt like I was watching NXT. That's all. And if people want to hate me for that and dish on me for it, then so be it. I just feel like TNA's lost their identity for who they are. And here's another thing. If I have to see Anthem Sports constantly come out in the ring and do what Triple H does with AAA, I'm going to puke. Less of that. I don't need to see you guys be in the background. Be in the background. They have the opposite. This is why I like Tony Khan just being in the back when it comes to AEW. Just be in the back. Be the background guy. And come out here and there when you need to make an announcement. So there you go. So let's see here. We had our Call Our Own Shot. We had that happen. Karani James defeating Edie Hartwell to retain the Knockouts World Women's Championship. That was expected. Connie James, or Jordan, sorry, I called her James. My bad. Jordan, she was well known. She's well known in NXT. She holds the North American title, almost won the women's belt. They're giving her pretty much the NXT women's belt without giving her the NXT women's belt, basically. They're doing the same thing they did with Trick Williams, because they didn't know what to do. They don't know what to do with their talent. NXT, they have so much stuff going on. And then, you know, Shawn Michaels, to me, sometimes when he books, I just feel like he wants to put so many people as champion. So what he does is he ends up booking them to win the partnerships championship because he doesn't know what to do with his said talent over here because he has too many people that he wants to be champion. It's just, and Indy Hartwell, again, I don't understand this. Indy Hartwell came in, she signed a multi-year deal with TNA, and I don't understand why you don't have her win. If you're going to have Mike Santana win, you're going to have him turn around and win and be hot, you need to have her win. I don't like this whole, like, we have to give NXT everything or WWE everything here. And I just feel like sometimes, and I get Connie Jordan here. I get it. And Connie Jordan, I get this. I understand her. She just won it. You can't have her lose. But I would rather her have a short reign and go into NXT and just become North American champion again. You know what I mean? Tsuruko, that thing's coming to an end, and it looks like she's going to be feud with Zyra eventually. So... the system defeats. This was another match in Hardcore War. Again, this is WWE-ized match. It's not a TNA. I feel like TNA is well known for hardcore matches. They're well known for certain things. And yes, they said they weren't going to do blood anymore. Here they are doing blood. They did blood in certain spots tonight. And I was like, what happened to TNA going PG? I guess not. So they do blood here when they feel it's redeemable to do so. So I'm confused with TNA, and I just feel like TNA's losing their identity. I wish they would bring back the 6-sided ring. If they really want to bring back the identity of TNA wrestling, bring back the 6-sided ring. I'd be all right with that. But the system winning, again, the system's ran its course in TNA. I just feel like they have hardcore war with Order 4. Don't care enough to care. I mean, do you care? Tasha Steelz comes out. Alicia Edwards. Again. Then we have Leo Slater and Javon Evans wrestling a 20-minute time draw for the the TNA X Division Championship. In this match, bro, like, this makes me happy. Javon Evans, can we just say this? The moves he does and Leon Slater, oh my God, the future. Like, Javon Evans should be up on the main roster. This bouncy thing is so good. I love it. It's a chef's kiss. Every time I see Javon Evans, it puts a smile on my face. Seriously. The moves that he does. And Leon Slater, I've always been a fan of him. I've always been a fan of him. And ABC, Chris Bay and the other guy that was in the team too. Love them both to pieces, So, the sky's the limit with TNA, but this match went to a 20-minute draw, and then they had some interference, and then they got beat up and all this stuff. But, again, Chris Bay returns. Again, I hope Chris Bay returns to wrestling, though. I like Chris Bay. I know him and Ace Austin. I know that whole thing, and Ace Austin's now in AEW. And the person I was talking about was Ace Austin. My bad. Ace Austin, I would say Ace Austin puts a smile on my face. Same with Chris Bay. Same with Javon Evans. Javon Evans, anything Javon Evans does, I'm a fan. Like I said, I would own some of his merch if I had the funds to do so. Javon Evans is fun. And Leon Slater, I love Leon Slater as well. He is fun. Ever since he's joined TNA, it's been a fun experience to watch. The moves that these guys do are unreal. It's like video game level bad, like good in a good way, but bad at the same time. So just keep that in mind. And Chris Bay returning, like I said before, it's great to see Chris Bay walking. And I would like to see him in a ring. Hopefully we get to see that sooner than later in the next few years. He's very, very much talented and stuff like that. Then we get to the final match, which I thought this should have been the beginning match in Bound for Glory. The Hardys versus the Dudley Boys, right? Or Team 3D versus the one final table match, right? Now, is Bully Ray retired? Is this the thing? Because Bully Ray's over on all these other indie shows with House of Glory, and is he officially retired? Is that the thing here? Because I'm confused. Are just the Dudley Boys being retired, and is the Dudley Boys going into the Hall of Fame? That's going to be the question in TNA next year, or I think they already are. So, or the WWE Hall of Fame. So that's my question. But yeah, this match, what can I say? It's more of a nostalgia match to me. I'm not like going, yeah, okay. It looked like the Hardys were kind of carrying the match, and it just looked like the Dudleys were kind of just out of breath. It was kind of like, okay, you're here for a payday. We get it. Nostalgia. I get it. It was fun. It was fun to watch a few of the spots and the off the ladder spot, but really, it looked like Devon Dudley looked like he was ready to like cape over. Like I was kind of concerned for a minute there. Like I said, Santino Morales was out a couple of times during the show. But yeah, when it came down, they announced Genesis coming to Dallas and that. And then we had Trick Williams and Mike Santana. Mike Santana ending up winning. This match went only 15 minutes, which was shocking. I thought they would have like a 30, 40-minute match and make you really convinced on who's the better belt for belt. And Santana won, doing his finisher. And finally, we can close the chapter on this whole NXT back and forth. So I know they're going to keep rivaling with Trick Williams and Mike Santana going forward. This match was good. It wasn't bad. It's just that, again, if you're gonna have something follow the Hardys, I would want this not to be a 15-minute match, more like a 40-minute match, or so. But then then I'm gonna get told, oh, then you want an AEW New Japan type match, and it's like if you're having legends go on before the main event, and it's gonna overshadow your main event, in my opinion. But like I said before, again, I was just happy Trick Williams is not champion. I thought Kalani James, James should have never been champion. I keep calling her James. Jordan, sorry. In this review. At the end of the day, I will say this show was a solid B- all day long. Wasn't terrible. It wasn't trash. This show wasn't trash. I would say if you're going to go into it and watch it, somewhere or find it somewhere, yarg me mateys, and other things like that, then I would honestly tell you, I would honestly say the Trick Williams Santana match, for being as fast as it was, is not bad. And I would honestly tell you, Trick Williams should be on the main roster at this point. He's too good of a talent. If you keep him in TNA or NXT floundering, then you don't know what to do with him. And I don't think they know what to do with Trick Williams at this point. Trick Williams needs to be up on the main roster. But then I feel if they're bringing up Joe Henry under a new contract with WWE, or him signing with WWE, I just feel like Trick Williams is gonna be lost in the sauce somewhere. You know what I mean? So that's just how I feel about this whole thing. And again, I just want TNA to find their identity and start filling out crowds and start being live every week. I mean, if they can start doing that, they're gonna be a really tough cookie every week with viewership. Now, I want to say something about viewership real quick in this video. Like, I keep seeing people say AEW's got down on views, WWE's down on views. The Nelson ratings, honestly, right now, are broken. They went to this new system, and it's broken. It doesn't favor sports places like ESPN. It doesn't favor a lot of things. And I get they want to be more accurate and more identical, and stuff like that. And I get that, right? I totally get it. But at the end of the day, it hurts the wrestling stuff. But I'm not surprised that wrestling views are down. I'm not surprised. And I'll tell you straight up, like, it's due to because people have pulled the cord. People are over watching it on streaming. A lot of streaming platforms don't count their views. Max doesn't. Netflix kind of does. They have their own little system. Amazon has their own little system. I wouldn't be surprised if TNA didn't make a deal, didn't go over, didn't get a TV rights deal, but got a streaming rights deal with like Amazon or one of them. I wouldn't be surprised, like a small mini deal somewhere. Supposedly they were getting a deal with CW originally. So I don't know. I don't know the whole TNA TV rights deal stuff, but I'm happy for TNA. This show was a banger, but it fell flat in certain spots. Let me tell you that, honestly. So anyway, my name is Wraith Realm TV. And I will see you guys on the next wrestling review. And thank you guys for stopping in. Peace out.